CBSY&R recaps, spoilers, and news writing. CBSY&R, August 12th, 2026, The Young and the Restless. Wednesday, fan fiction episode, A Choice That Changes Everything, fan fiction/speculative story. This is an original fictional episode and not the official CBS script or transcript. Genoa City woke beneath a gray summer sky, but inside the homes and offices of its most powerful families, the pressure was already rising. At Lily Winter's apartment, Nate Hastings stood near the window, staring out at the city. He had spent the entire night thinking about the same question. Could he really return to medicine? The thought terrified him. It also excited him. Lily walked into the room carrying 2 cups of coffee. "You didn't sleep," she said. Nate turned. "Neither did you." "I had a good reason." "So did I." Lily handed him the coffee. "Then tell me." Nate looked down at the cup. "I've been thinking about going back into surgery." Lily studied him carefully. And I don't know if I can." Lily sat across from him. "Nate, you've spent your entire life proving what you're capable of. You don't have to prove anything to me. This isn't about proving something. Then what is it about?" Nate hesitated. "I miss it." Those 3 words changed the atmosphere. Lily knew exactly what he meant. He missed the operating room, the discipline, the responsibility, the feeling that, for a few hours, the chaos of the world disappeared, and there was only one thing that mattered: saving someone. But Lily also knew what returning to medicine could mean for Winters. "You're worried about leaving the company. I wouldn't abandon you. You wouldn't be abandoning me." Nate looked surprised. Lily continued, "If medicine is where your heart is, then I won't be the person who stops you. But Winters needs me. Winters needs people who want to be there." Nate smiled faintly. "You're giving me permission?" "No." Lily leaned forward. "I'm telling you that your life belongs to you." Before Nate could answer, his phone rang. He looked at the screen. His expression immediately changed. "Who is it?" Lily asked. Nate stood. "The hospital." Nick's worst morning across town, Nick Newman sat alone in a quiet room, looking exhausted. The previous night had left him shaken. He had promised himself he would make better choices. He had promised his family. He had promised himself. Yet somehow he had ended up right back in a situation he could barely explain. The door opened. Nick looked up. Sharon stood there. Neither spoke for several seconds. Finally, Sharon said, "How are you?" Nick gave a bitter laugh. "Do I look okay?" "No." "Then why ask?" "Because sometimes people need to hear the question before they're ready to answer it." Nick looked away. "I messed up." Sharon sat down. "I know. I don't need a lecture. I didn't come to give you one." "Then why are you here?" Sharon's expression softened. "Because you shouldn't be alone." Nick stared at her. "You always do that." "Do what?" "Show up when I think everyone has given up on me." Sharon smiled sadly. "I haven't given up on you." Nick's eyes became wet. "I don't know how to fix this." "You don't fix everything in one day." "I should." "No." Sharon shook her head. "You take one honest step, then another." Nick looked toward the door. "I hurt people." "Yes." "You're supposed to tell me I didn't." "I won't lie to you." Nick nodded slowly. "That's why I trust you." Suddenly his phone began ringing. Nick looked at the caller ID. It was his family. He didn't answer. Sharon noticed. "You should." "I can't." "Nick, I can't keep disappointing them." Sharon stood. "Then give them a reason to believe in you again." Nick finally answered. "Hello?" A tense voice came through the phone. Nick's face went pale. "What?" Sharon immediately noticed. "What happened?" Nick slowly lowered the phone. "There was an emergency." Victoria and Kyle. At Newman Enterprises, Victoria Newman was reviewing documents when Kyle Abbott entered. Victoria looked up. "Do you ever knock?" Kyle smiled. "Usually." "That's not an answer." "I needed to talk to you." Victoria closed the folder. "About business?" "No." That got her attention. Kyle sat across from her. "I've been thinking about what happened between us." Victoria's expression hardened. "If you're talking about that moment, forget it." "I'm trying." "Then try harder." Kyle sighed. "I didn't come here to make things complicated." "Then why are you here?" "Because I don't want a lie sitting between us." Victoria stood. "You think honesty makes this easier?" "No." Kyle looked directly at her. "I think pretending nothing happened makes it worse." Victoria turned away. "You're Jack's son. And you're Victor's daughter." "That isn't what I meant." "I know." The silence became uncomfortable. Victoria finally said, "There are too many people who could get hurt." Kyle nodded. "I agree. Then we understand each other." "Maybe." Victoria looked at him. "What does that mean?" Kyle stood. "It means understanding something doesn't necessarily make it disappear." Before Victoria could answer, her phone rang. She answered. "What?" Her expression changed. "What hospital?" Kyle immediately became concerned. "Is everything okay?" Victoria slowly ended the call. It was about Nick. Nate gets a second chance at the hospital. Nate walked through the corridors he had once known so well. Every step brought back memories. A nurse recognized him. "Dr. Hastings?" Nate stopped. "It's Nate." She smiled. "It's good to see you." "Good to see you too." He looked toward the operating rooms. For a moment he couldn't move. Then a senior physician approached. "I heard you might be coming back." Nate looked startled. Rumors travel quickly. "In hospitals, faster than blood." Nate smiled. The doctor became serious. "We have a position available." Nate stared at him. "You're serious?" "Very. I haven't operated in a long time." "You're still a surgeon." "I've changed." "So has medicine." Nate looked through the glass toward the operating area. "What would it take?" "Commitment." Nate nodded. "I can give you that." Lily makes a decision. Back at Winters, Lily stood in her office with Devon. Devon looked troubled. "I don't know if I can keep doing this." Lily crossed her arms. "You're leaving." "I think I have to." "Why?" "Because I need something different." Lily looked at her brother. "Is this because of Kane?" Devon shook his head. "No, this is about me." Lily sighed. "Everyone keeps saying that." "Because it's true." She walked around the desk. "Then what happens to Winters?" "You're capable of running it." "So that's it?" "No." Devon smiled. "You're not getting rid of me that easily." Lily smiled despite herself. "Good." Then her phone buzzed. She looked at the message. Her face became serious. Devon noticed. "What happened?" "Nate's at the hospital." "Why?" "He's considering surgery." Devon nodded. "That's what he wants." "Yes. And," Lily looked toward the window, "I think I need to let him choose." Sharon faces a difficult truth. At Crimson Lights, Sharon stood behind the counter while waiting for Nick. He had promised to return. He hadn't. Mariah walked in. "Mom?" Sharon turned. "Hey, you look worried." "Nick had an emergency." Mariah immediately understood. "Is he okay?" "I don't know yet." Mariah walked closer. "Are you getting involved again?" Sharon paused. "What do you mean?" "With Nick." Sharon sighed. "I'm helping someone who needs help." "Mom, I know you care about him." "I do." "But you can't save everyone." Sharon looked at her daughter. "I know." "Do you?" Sharon didn't answer. Mariah softened. I just don't want to see you hurt. Sharon reached for her hand. Neither do I. Victor hears the news at the Newman Ranch. Victor Newman stood behind his desk. Nikki entered. You've been staring at that phone for 10 minutes. Victor looked up. Nick is in trouble. Nikki's face fell. Again? Victor nodded. I don't know what happened. Nikki walked toward him. You need to call him. I already did. And? No answer. Nikki sat down. Victor, he's your son. I know. He needs you. Victor's expression hardened. I have spent months trying to help him. And now? Victor looked at her. Now I don't know if helping him means protecting him from consequences or forcing him to face them. Nikki took his hand. Maybe both. Victor looked at her. You always know what to say. No. Nikki smiled. I just know you. The emergency. Nick finally arrived at the hospital. Sharon was with him. Victor and Nikki arrived moments later. Victoria followed. The Newman family gathered in the corridor. What happened? Victor demanded. Nick looked at his father. I made a mistake. Victor's face became stern. That's not an answer. Nick swallowed. Someone needed help. Who? Nick hesitated. Marie. Sharon stepped forward. She became seriously ill. Victor looked at Nick. And you were with her? Yes. Why? Nick couldn't answer. Nikki stepped between them. Not here. Victor looked furious. This is exactly where we need answers. Nick finally spoke. I was trying to help her. Victor stared at him. Then why do you look like you're waiting for a judge to sentence you? Nick's eyes filled with tears. Because I'm ashamed. The hallway fell silent. Victoria looked at her brother. You don't have to do this alone. Nick looked at her. I already did. A new beginning. Meanwhile, Nate returned to Lily's apartment. She was waiting. He entered slowly. Well? Nate smiled. They offered me the position. Lily smiled. And? I said yes. Lily hugged him. I knew you would. Nate pulled back. There's something else. What? I don't know how much time I'll have for Winters. Lily laughed. I already told you. I'll manage. You're sure? Yes. Nate looked relieved. Thank you. Lily smiled. Don't thank me. She pointed toward the door. Go be a surgeon. Jack's warning at the Abbott mansion. Jack Abbott received a call. He listened quietly. His expression changed. Are you certain? He ended the call. Tracy entered. What happened? Jack looked at his sister. Someone has been asking questions about our family. Who? I don't know. Then why are you worried? Because they're asking about Kyle. Tracy became serious. Is Kyle in danger? I don't know. Jack walked toward the window. But someone wants something. Kyle gets a message. Kyle was standing alone when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. You think the past is buried. It isn't. Kyle stared at the screen. A second message appeared. Ask your father what he really knows. Kyle immediately called Jack. Dad? Jack answered. What is it? I just got a message. What kind? Kyle read it aloud. There was silence. Dad? Jack finally spoke. Come home. Why? Now. Kyle's expression tightened. What's going on? I'll explain when you get here. Kyle ended the call. He looked toward Newman Enterprises, then toward the city. Something had changed, and he knew it. Victoria's secret. Victoria returned to her office. She closed the door. For the first time all day, she allowed herself to breathe. She opened a drawer. Inside was a photograph. She stared at it. Kyle's face appeared in her mind, then Nick's, then her father's. Victoria whispered to herself, I can't lose my family. Her phone buzzed, a message from Kyle. We need to talk. Victoria stared at the words. She typed, "About what?" His reply came immediately, "Everything." Victoria closed her eyes. She knew exactly what he meant. Nick makes a promise at the hospital. Nick sat beside Marie's room. Sharon stood nearby. Victor watched from the hallway. Nicky touched his arm. "Go to him." Victor hesitated. Then he entered. Nick looked up. "Dad." Victor sat beside him. For once there was no anger in his voice. "You're my son." Nick looked down. "I know. You will make mistakes." Nick nodded. "But you will also get another chance." Nick looked at him. "Even after everything?" Victor nodded. "Especially after everything." Nick began to cry. Victor put a hand on his shoulder. "But there is one condition." Nick looked up. "No more lies." Nick nodded. "No more lies." Victor stood. "And tomorrow you start rebuilding." The final shock. That evening, Genoa City appeared peaceful, but appearances were deceiving. At the Abbott mansion, Kyle entered the living room. Jack was waiting. "Tell me." Kyle held up his phone. "I got this." Jack read the message. His face became pale. Kyle noticed. "You know who sent it?" Jack didn't answer. "Dad?" Jack finally looked at his son. "Yes." "Who?" Jack took a breath. "Someone from our past." Kyle's expression hardened. "Who?" Before Jack could answer, the front door opened. Everyone turned. A familiar voice filled the room. "Did you really think I would stay gone forever?" Kyle froze. Jack stared toward the doorway. Tracy appeared behind Kyle, and then the figure stepped into the light. Someone the Abbott family believed they had finally left behind. Jack whispered one word. "No." The stranger smiled. "You have no idea what I've come back for." Elsewhere in Genoa City. At the Newman Ranch, Victor stood beside Nicky. He looked toward the city lights. "Something is coming." Nicky nodded. "It always does." Victor took her hand. "This time, we face it together." At Lily's apartment, Nate packed his belongings for his first day back at the hospital. At Crimson Lights, Sharon closed the cafe and looked at the empty chair where Nick had been sitting earlier. At Newman Enterprises, Victoria stared at Kyle's message. And at the Abbott mansion, Kyle stood face to face with the person who had just returned to Genoa City. The past wasn't finished. The secrets weren't buried. And tomorrow, every family would have to decide how much truth they were willing to survive. To be continued.